Shane, you there?
Yep, I'm all here.
Okay, we are live with the Preseason VGHL podcast for Season 15. Before we get started, I have a couple announcements to make for you guys. First, we have Cosmo 483264 as our highlight of the season award winner from last season, and we will start off by showing you that video. Give me 1 second to pause the music for you guys, and we will check it out. Here we go. We got one more save coming up. And here comes the highlight pass. Onto the breakaway. Going left. Backhand. Nope. Tucks it in the side. That was our highlight of the winner from last season. Be sure to upload your highlights to the VGHL website again this season, whether it's via Twitch or YouTube, and you will be automatically entered to win a award at the end of the season. And don't forget to go and link your Twitches to your gamer profiles. That way, whenever you go live, it'll be linked to both the website and our Discord. If you have not checked out our Discord yet, be sure to go grab the link from someone who has. It is now integrated into our website here on the button on the bottom right, and you can log into your Discord there, or you can download the app and get a link from someone else there, and you are more than welcome to browse through all of these. Apparently Shane's having some fun with the channels himself right now. But
No,
yeah,
I'm good.
be sure to go check it out. So Shane, what are we gonna get started on here?
Well, I'd like to take a look at the Pacific Division and see what the rosters look like there.
Okay, so we're gonna go to Arizona first. In Arizona, we have John Skis as the rookie owner, followed with his captain Firefighter 58. Can you tell us more about these guys?
I don't personally know the owners, so if you know some information on them, I'll know more about the
I
players.
believe John Skis was a PHL owner and Firefighter was his captain last season. Might be our first guy jumping straight from the PHL to the NHL in the history of VG since we changed that rule a couple years back. He had 1.58 points per game in the PHL last season. Let's check out how his bidding went. You want to go over who they have quick? Add some comments?
Yeah, sure. As I look at the roster, there's a few names that pop out right away. Alex Drum, for sure, was a crucial keep at, I don't know if he's going to be playing center or lefty, but I personally know Alex Drum, and he's good at both positions. But I would probably put him at lefty because the lefties are pretty hard to find this season, and Alex is a stellar lefty. He did a good job last season on Arizona also as a lefty. He also had a stacked roster, though, but doesn't take away from his skills. Balaki's a very good goalie, so I don't know if it's going to be putting him goalie or left wing, as he's indicated.
And they've got Joe Ferris and JTX at goalie as well.
Yeah. Well, JT's a good forward, too. You can't take that away from him. So
Yep.
I would capitalize using JT as a forward, considering all the Gs you have. The Ferris is a very good goalie also. He's going to be consistent. He's going to be there when needed. Guess who is he's a pretty good lefty, especially for 500. I guess that was a decent pickup. Kubunja, wasn't he like in the top leaders from last season?
Yeah, he was a top AHL captain last season. Unfortunately, this year he is only 4 a week. And shout out to the follows from Ovo Yuck and Rich2K8.
Yeah, and for 4 a week for 3.5 for. He might have led the AHL, but we all know that jumping from the AHL to the NHL, it's not the same at all. So hopefully he's able to produce at the NHL level as a left wing for 3.5 for 4 mil.
Yep. How I Met Your Little Wife was also pretty decent last season in the AHL. So we'll kind of see how those guys come up and change over to the NHL and see if they can put up points like they did last year. So next on the list we have Calgary.
Yep.
Calgary is headed by Vibes again. No, A Convict. Vibes moved, didn't he? So we got Zubov and A Convict as owner and captain.
Zubov is Vibes.
Zubov is Vibes other gamer tag.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Got X Tailsy at left wing. Biggie Biggs right D lefty went for 5.5 mil. It's kind of pushing his value in my opinion. Mr. Bar down left wing right wing 1.5 is always pretty decent. Vlad goalie, and I had not heard of him. Madden's 26, full throttle re-signed at 2.738. Schroyer at 6.563 re-signed, and Gonzo Armstrong at 3 mil. Gonzo's a pretty decent right D. Schroyer is a great left wing. I don't know too much about full throttle. You can give us some more info on him.
Full throttle is an amazing left defense. If you would have went to bidding, I think it would have been easy 9 million. Full throttle is very good defensively, very good offensively. I think one of the key elements on Vibes' team, A Convict, only 4.5 for his captain, and the guy is an absolute beast. Biggie Biggs, he's a veteran. He's been playing defense for years and years and years. His availability, I'm not too sure what's going to be like. For 5.5 is definitely good for a right D.
Yeah, I think between Biggie Biggs, Schroyer, and Gonzo, they are set at D. A Convict at center, and Schroyer at left wing. So you're really just looking at goalies and right wings here with the rest of their team. They need to figure out what's going on.
Well, Schroyer can play left D, he can play center, he can play left wing. He's a good utility player, and he's very good at all positions. And also in the draft, they got Maddens. Maddens is an absolute beast also.
Yeah, so if Maddens can play wing really well, I think him, Schroyer, and A Convict will pair up front really well. I know A Convict's a really good center, so.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, next we can move on all the way to Vancouver. Got Snake Plissken returning with Rise of Ninja as his captain again. Roster looks pretty set again, although I think they missed out on that big forward they were going after with Sudsy. They got Run at 4 million, J-Town and goalie at 0.5. J-Town's always pretty reliable. Trap MC they got in the draft at 0.5. Skinner right DG 1.5 in the draft. Skinner has pretty solid stats we can go check out in a second. They brought back Talent Check who at 2.69. They got Dom Squad at 2.69 as well. So there's forward line there with Talent Check, Dom, and Rise of Ninja. Grizzly Shields they actually got from my team and re-signed him in the offseason. Solid right D. And Silent Cricket, 26 at goalie left D for 0.5 on the second year of his 2-year contract. Can you tell us more about these guys?
Yeah, sure. I think the key elements for Vancouver is they did an amazing job, first of all, with his captain selection. And Rise of Ninja is an absolute monster. At right wing, he's very good. He knows when to pass. He knows when to shoot. He knows how to handle the puck. So for 6.5, I would say that's even cheap. They re-signed Dom Squad. Dom Squad is an absolute monster. I would say one of the best in the game. So for 2.690, Dom Squad is definitely going to be up there, especially in the points. Talent Check, another good re-sign. He's probably going to be playing center this season, I think, probably in the middle between Dom Squad and Rise. I think that's going to be their starting lineup. J-Town, I know he had lots of interest in him before the bidding. He personally asked me for him, but I guess he actually got him for cheap once again. I don't know how he always goes for cheap because he's a very good goalie.
Mm-hmm.
Run like Kelch, very good player, very good right D. I heard there was a bit of inconsistencies with him or her. I'm not sure if it's a girl from what I heard or whatever. But hopefully for 4 million, she or he will provide. As for the rest, I think Skinner's pretty good too, from what I've heard. And as for the rest,
we'll go check out Skinner's stats here quick. Skinner played season 14 in both the PHL and AHL. In 10 AHL games, he had 1.5 points per game playing defense with a plus 14. And in his 20 PHL games, he threw up 1.4 points per game with a plus 32. And also played one game at goalie with a 778 save percentage.
So for sure, solid pickup. I think Snake did a great job. He's going to be up there this season.
Yep. From here, we'll go over to the Vegas Golden Knights. Malkin is the new owner over there this year. He's got Statistician as lefty left wing as his captain. Got Bill X Hicks OGT on right wing. Red Sox right wing. Rarmer got for 6.5 to lock down that D. They call me Rev at 4 mil. Lock down that goalie spot between Carbor and Rev. That goalie spot should be pretty locked up. Got Steel City Fan 17 at lefty as well. Smoke Show Joe, Mr. Versatility for 2.5. And it's a pretty solid center. And then Go Mark left wing lefty. Is not much more to say about this team, I don't think. I think it's pretty solid all around.
Yeah, pretty solid. Stats is a very good lefty. Malkin is a very good forward. Props for him for getting his own team. I think that was the point from last season. As for what I see on paper, something that pops right away for me is Harmer for 6.5. But once again, as I've been saying in the manager's chat, the lefty pull this season hasn't been high of caliber. So Harmer for 6.5, I would say, is in the range of good. That makes me question: are they going to put statistician as a forward, or they're just going to do an alternate of lefties? Because it's basically 11.5 on a lefty.
My guess is statistician or Romer is going to be playing some right D and combo them up.
Well, that's a possibility. Yeah. Also, Rev is a stellar goalie.
Yeah.
Has been, always will be.
Rev and Carbor both are. I think Rev will get most of the starts here, but Carbor is solid all around and a starter on about any other team.
Yeah, and they did a good job. I think they had. I think they got Go Mark from Carolina, who Malkin had last season. Go Mark is an absolute monster at left wing also. So for 1.25, it's a great pickup. I think he finished in the top stats last year, where he was close to there.
Statisticians actually chiming in on the chat saying that Romer will be playing right D this year.
No, so that's good to know. Smoke Show, well, he's an OG also. So as center, you pair him with the proper wingers, and things are gonna be looking good. As for the other guys, I'm not too sure. So if you have any information, go ahead.
Let's go ahead and move on to Vegas here, or not Vegas, but Anaheim.
Sure.
Give me 1 second while I mute my mic really quick while you talk about Anaheim here.
Sure. So for Anaheim, we have Technics, who stepped up as an owner. I'm not too sure if he was a manager in the AHL or in the PHL last season. I know he's been on the DC committee for a little while now. He took Chokin Hazard for his captain. As for what it looks on paper,
oh yeah, I sent you that.
I see a lot of players, I think, would say, who were AHL players.
Okay.
I'm surprised. I've never heard of Perry. So Perry, 9 million. Like, I'm actually surprised. I've never seen that high. I just got confirmation that Technics was an AHL owner last season. So Perry for 9 million. I'm gonna for sure keep an eye on that, because I definitely want to see the stats of someone who's worth 9 million who I've never seen in the NHL.
Yeah, for sure. Let's take a look at Perry's stats here quick. I know Chaug is a pretty decent lefty, but we'll have to see how he translates to the NHL. I don't know much about this Great Zilla or Low Key either. Toasty's re-signed at 3.125, King Kong at 0.75. I just don't know too much about this team in general.
No, me neither.
Perry last year had 3.1 points per game in 41 games with a plus 47 in the AHL. He was playing on Choking Hazard's team, so my guess is they'll kind of combo up again.
Yeah. From what I heard from Chaug, though, is that his ability is not that good for this season. That's the thing I looked into before I bit bidding, was his ability. I've heard he was only going to be maybe 2 or 4.
He's moving across country, I believe, so.
But still, for 1 million, you cannot go wrong. Even if it's 2 games a week, it's definitely a good pickup. The goalie for 2 million, I've never heard of Zilla, but for 2 million, I don't know what his stats are, but hopefully it's decent. As for the rest, they all have decent stats, so sometimes it's more about Cam than about big players. So we'll see how Cam plays this season.
For sure. Let's go ahead and look at San Jose here quick. Let's try to breeze through these last 2 teams. If I can ever find San Jose on the list, I am blind. There's the Sharks. So the Sharks are headed by Spencer, moving over from Anaheim this year with his captain, Flesh-Eating Alien, who is pretty solid. On the roster.
That was a recent change, though, right? Because I think Alien was not the original captain until 2 days ago.
I do not remember. I was not looking at any of that stuff. I would have to ask further. They spent $8 million on No Chance for goalie. So they're pretty locked down, hoping that No Chance is that go-to guy. But they do have Rancher on the bench, who's been a pretty solid goalie in the NHL for a few years now.
Yeah, Rancher is very solid for not even $1 million.
Spencer is chiming in saying that Flesh-Eating Alien has been the captain.
No, he has? Okay.
Yep. So they got Knowles on left wing, who's, decent. We'll see how he transitions to the NHL level. Chris McKenzie, lefty G. Jay Hickey, right wing G. CU Key at $4.5 million for right D. So my big question for this team is just, what's their offense going to be like? We know that they'll keep goals out, but are they going to score?
That's a good question. I mean, there's the guys aren't bad, but are they going to be able? Sometimes when we get to the NHL level, is you got to remember that you have to get past the good defense in the NHL level. So sometimes the adjustment period might take a little while, but you can never be surprised. Czech I like the way he plays. Prodigy's not that bad either. Like the boss, I've heard about him a few times, but yeah. Apart from that, we have a decent team. We'll see how we go.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go ahead and move on to Edmonton here while I check if our first guest is ready.
Sure.
So in Edmonton, we got Blake Mack, 22, as owner, moving up from the AHL, and ex-defense straight as his captain. It's a pretty decent price for a defense straight. He should be usually pretty solid. You got Apex Predator on right D, 5-star Kook at right DC. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that Goonie name. Brody Pack, Jighead, Max, Jay Miglet, Frindog. A lot of guys that I have not heard of ready to make their debut. Let's check out a couple of these stats, these higher played players. Team does have $15 million in cap to spend whenever they're ready. So, JMLIGT had 1.33 points per game with a plus 79 season 13. But last season he was only .61 with a negative 45 in the NHL.
1 point or 0 point?
0 point.
Okay.
Frindog last year was a negative 39 with 1.71 points per game, but in season 13 he also performed well, putting up 2.47 at plus 53 at the AHL level. So we'll see if they can figure it out on their sophomore years here. Maybe get some stuff up.
Yeah, from on paper, I don't recognize a lot of names. I know 5-star Cook. I played a lot of games with him. I don't know if his availability is the best, but he's a stellar right D. Fenestrate for $3 million. He's a solid player. But from what I remember from last season, his availability wasn't that good either. But he might step it up this season because he's the captain. But it's another one of those teams that I'm not too sure.
So let's go ahead and give our top 3 division leaders for the Pacific. What do you have?
I would say I would definitely go for first. I would go Vancouver.
Okay.
Number two would be Calgary. And number 3, I would go Vegas.
That is probably the exact order I have, other than Vegas and Calgary switched around with Vancouver on top.
Perfect.
So let's get our guest in here and go ahead and ask him a couple questions. Welcome, Cross.
What's up, fellas?
If you guys don't know, Jay Cross is our NHL commissioner for 3rd season in a row.
Yeah. Jesus.
Former.
No. Yeah. Fuck, I don't know. Some amount of time. Too much time.
Former DC head of DC as well, and been around for quite a while. Cross, could you go ahead and explain the new position lock rule change for the viewers?
All right. So, what we're trying to do is avoid, and I'm not going to name any names. Corsi.
He still doesn't have a bid on him.
The lovely goalie position, so that people could avoid bidding, but without going full-blown position lock like some other leagues. So what we did is we created 3 standard groups: forwards, defenseman, and goalie. Whatever positions you have listed in your profile are the only positions you have to play according to your owner, but we open the availability, if you will, to play anyone in those categories. So if you're a left wing, left D, you can play any forward, any defense, but your owner can only make you play left wing and left D.
And they cannot play goalie, correct? If they are left wing,
Correct.
lefty.
So it also implements a little bit more strategy on the owner's standpoint to make sure they have the proper people on the team to actually be able to outfit a team. It does kill a little bit of our utility guys, and that's kind of an unfortunate scenario that we have to deal with, but it's the only way we can make it fair enough without limiting what people can do.
Speaking as one of those utility guys, I have played all 6 positions in every season I've been in VG, and I am still completely fine with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it took almost a full season of debate on how we were actually going to implement it. And I think we came up with the fairest way we possibly could.
I agree. So let's go. Are there any other rules we should know about first before we move on?
Nothing that drastically impacts it. The only other major one is we upped the minimum rosters in the AHL. The minimum roster is now 11, and we upped the cap to go with it. And this hopefully will give the availability of the NHL teams to have more ECUs to choose from, especially with the position lock. That just will hopefully prevent all the forfeits we've had last couple seasons.
Okay, and for those of you that are interested in all of the rule changes, they are all highlighted yellow in the rule book if you want to go check it out under the info tab on the VG website. So let's move on to Winnipeg. We'll keep you around to give some overviews on the Central here. We got Boss Ross as owner, Deadly Dangles as captain.
Cut you off, but we forgot to do LA.
We forgot to do LA? No one cares about LA.
People
Look
care.
at you guys.
Let's go back to LA quick. We'll give them a look.
No, you have to give them LA.
So we got Roller Pig and Burns for Heart there. II Amazing LL at 4.5 left D. He's alright. Illy Philly left wing C, as long as his availability is good. They got an Able for only 1 million, G right D. See how much he plays this year. John from Earth, lefty right D. T Mills for 6 mil at right wing. Furday's Buddy, left wing C at 2.5. Any other names out here? Matthew, right wing C, 1 mil.
From what I see, this on paper, the team is stacked. Burns for Hard, Burns for Norris is a really good lefty. Roller Pick, I personally don't know. Amazing is a very good lefty, but he's got attitude. Philly, good left wing. He's got attitude. Matthew, he's pretty good too. Patrol. So I think the best shop here is the 2 LCs they have with John from Earth and today's Buddy. They've been popping up in the last year in NHL, and I think they're gonna make a big difference on the team. T Mills is a right wing also for 6 mil. I think it's a bit of law, but I think he's going to do his job properly.
I think they'll definitely be fighting for that wild card spot.
You guys also forgot Sean in there as well. Played with him several different seasons.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Sean's good, but it's available. We'll see.
He may be one of the most talented, but yeah, it's a question of if they can get him to play because he's had some issues the last couple seasons.
Yeah.
Yuck is calling Roller Pig Rookie of the Year right now, just so everyone's aware.
Oh, Lord.
So we'll move on to Winnipeg here and the Central Division. So we got Boss Ross and Deadly Dangles, owner and captain yet again after a successful year. You got Scals Yanks coming on that 2-year right wing, right D. Liquid One Lunch, right DC. Who else they got? They got Matt Kinno back. Yoshi Swagger at 4.375 for joke goalie. Easton's at 6 mil for left wing. They got Gustav, who's a very good ELC right wing center. Another ELC B Cray 88 center right wing, and Le Pigeon at right D right wing, one-way draft contract at 1.5. Cross, got any input on this?
I mean, personally, I think on paper they're a little less talented than last season, but they've got a lot of glue guys who could probably help them. As much as we like to give Scals crap in our chats, he's fairly deep defense. Pairing with Boss, if they play well together, they could do some good things. The question is, can they overcome some of the attitudes with guys like Easton? I just know sometimes when he gets out of his sorts and not getting his way, sometimes it can go bad. But talent's definitely there for sure.
Shane, any input?
Yeah, this I wouldn't say it's the same team as last year, but I think Boss Ross is going to make it work. Dangles as a captain is a very good choice. The guy is good at every position. Matt Keno at 1.25, guy's a fucking monster. Easton at left wing, 6 mil. That for him is cheap. He's a fucking monster. Will he have attitude? I don't think so, because I'm the one who traded him to him. And I asked the Preseason, like, do you want to get re-signed, or do you want, if I would trade you, what team? He said, man, I don't know yet. So for me to trade him over there and he actually resigns means that he's actually involved with the team. So Scal's a very good player also. He's underrated, especially in 18. Scal's has really stepped up his game. Luke Launch as a right D is very good. Shimon Khalid did a very good job. I think he played 2 games as ECU last season for the Winnipeg, but they're gonna have a good team again this year.
Okay, let's move over to Colorado quick. In Colorado, we got Real Team Man moving over from Smashville, Cineront as his captain. They got Foreign Object, 7 mil, lefty, right D. I know Foreign's availability has been kind of rough the last season or two, so I'm curious how that'll go. Puck Zone, right wing C, Ace Soldier, 1.5 mil. Grammy Hands, RB Stresser, I'll Get Tit, right wing G, 2 mil. Runk 62, a 2.5 ELC. Cess Dragon SES at 2.245. Resign at G. I know he's a pretty solid G. And Bob McClot at right wing for 0.5. I know he's a pretty solid right wing on that cheap deal as well. Cross.
You know, just looking at the roster, I think they're already kind of at a disadvantage. Spending $7 million on Foreign, like you said, it's going to be a matter of whether or not he's going to show up and he's going to play like Foreign. If he does, it'll be great and it'll help, solidify the defensive line. If not, it's going to be an issue. I'm not sure who else they got back there that's really going to do it.
My big question is putting up points. That's
yeah,
my
I don't
question
see
with a lot
the
of
offense
rosters.
here.
Yeah, and I think if I can add on to the offense problem, they don't have someone who's a main center. In NHL 18, having a main center is almost the most important position. Someone who's good at faceoffs, someone who's good defensively, someone who can create plays in the offensive zone. And they don't have one main center. So, I don't know.
They do have almost $6 million in cap to try to work something out, but they only have 1 pick remaining, looks like.
Well, they would have to, for sure, set up a good trade. If I give them advice, set up a trade before the season, well, after a few days of the season starts, because you're going to need a good center. But apart from that, Runk is decent. Bomba Cloud is very good. Cess is a decent goalie. Foreign Object is a very good lefty. Apart from that, I don't really know any other people. I apologize.
Yeah, the Get guy, looking at it, he did well in the PHL and the AHL, but it's a little bit different of a ball game, so we'll see how he does up here.
Okay, let's move on to Dallas here. Dallas had an interesting bidding session under I believe Broodwich did most of the bidding with new owner Robbie. Robbie is a great guy. I can vouch for that. But the bidding was kind of interesting. Big Mummy right D at 6 million. People are saying he's better this game, but in NHL 18. But we'll have to see. They got Sabres 2019, right wing C 1 mil, Gaudreau, another personality, C left wing 1 mil, Acer 1 mil, goalie left wing, Tanger 1 mil, Tom D, an AHL guy, never played any NHL experience, right D lefty 5.5 mil, Robbed 0.5, Rick Shaw 0.5, another big personality, Wade 0.5, Krilla 0.875. And the marker at 0.5. They got 8 million cap, but 13 guys and a lot of personalities, and no real standout on talent, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure how they filled this roster out. Looking at it, you got a max roster and you still got 8 million in cap. You did something wrong. I'm sorry.
Well, I would disagree. It's not as bad as it looks, just because people don't recognize big names. Gaudreau, he has a bit of an attitude. I know him personally, but he's a very good player when he shows up. Sabres is a very good player. Acer is a very good goalie. Bigami's a very good right D. Tanger's a good left wing. Krilla is an underrated center, and he has a very good attitude. Rob, he's a good new guy. I don't know who the fuck this Tom D guy is though, but
I checked out his stats. His stats are pretty good in AHL, but nothing saying 5.5 mil that I saw. He was last year through 2 teams and just over 50 games. He was about 0.9 with a plus 71.
Yeah, my only concern, obviously Dallas a little bit close to the heart with me last year being there, but Krilla, Marker, and Sniper put together a line and they just kind of gelled last season. So they're going to have to find somebody that's going to help them on that line. I just don't know. I don't know that the defense is going to carry this team, and I don't think it's kind of like a Colorado issue. I'm not sure they're going to have enough scoring, but maybe they can prove us wrong. Maybe Brood's going to step up his game and be real good up here.
To be honest, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm not sure they're going to have a lot of anything.
Kind of like last season, Krilla's team.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of. If they're winning games, they're winning 1-goal games, and when they're losing games, they're going to be losing games by 5.
I think it's going to be a rough season until they make some moves, but we can move on and talk more about that later.
Well, no, just to say this is another team that they're going to have to do a couple of trades.
Yep. So on to Smashville with Sports Nerd and a Sleep Tech. They got Sweet Home Chicago, right D, right wing, Beatty, C lefty, Bones at right wing for 0.5, Business right D at 0.5, Scarcella at 4.5, Teagill at 7 mil, G right wing, Falcon at 3.5, C right wing, Boogie Woogie at 0.5, Overkill at 0.5, and Suffix titled at 1.125. So I can go ahead and say right now, Suffix titled, Scarcella is a pretty good offensive D-man, Bones, Beatty, T-Guild, Falcon, they should be able to put up some points at least. The question is, with Scarcella being so offensive at D and Sweet Home Chicago being maybe a little bit overpaid, are they going to be able to keep stuff out of the net?
I think the problem is attitude on this team. Lots of players with attitudes.
Cross?
They got goalies. Tech and Geek can both stop the puck if you give them some help. And like you said, they're going to score. It's just a question of if they're going to be able to stop it on a regular basis. I think the talent is there. It's just a matter of how well they're going to end up playing together.
All right, well, let's move. That one's pretty quick. Let's move on to the Wild here and keep things rolling.
Rip.
We got S Jackson coming down from a couple years in the AHL, finally getting his owner's spot after much deserved time due. Sergeant Van Dues is a captain yet again. They got Alonzi at 7 mil in net. So they'll at least have a good goalie. The question is, what does the rest of their team look like? They got Rhythm MC lefty, who I believe was also S. Jackson's captain before in the AHL. Embrodor lefty 4.5. I don't know much about him. They got J-Seb lefty left wing at 1.5. Joyrides at 0.5. Plastic at 4 mil at right D. And this ELC on Yanks RX1 at 2.5. You guys got any more to put in on this?
They got defense. A lot of it.
They got goalies too.
I'm not sure who's going to be playing offense.
That's a good question. They got 10.5.
They got 3 guys? Yeah, they got 3 guys who are primary forwards.
5 goalies. 10.5 million goalies.
Honestly, this team, if you look at the roster, is season 14 San Jose. You got JC who was the owner, you got Indian who was the captain, Stench was there at one point, Van Dues was on that team. They're rebuilding that team.
Why though?
And that team didn't work out so well. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure who's putting the puck in net. They don't have a center even. Oh no, the Indians a center, I guess. So they got 1 center, 1 left wing, and 2 right wings.
And 3 mil left. So it's another team that's going to have to do a couple of trades.
Yeah.
Because even their goalie lefty, they got 2 D guys or 3 D guys that are just straight up defense. They don't have another 4. Another one.
Yuck does have a good comment here. This time they don't have 3 staff members after bidding, so they're already looking better than season 14 San Jose.
2 of those staff members were gone by week 2.
Let's go ahead and move on to Chicago here, and then we'll end the Central with St. Louis. So where are the Blackhawks? Right here. Blackhawks are headed by Headcase this year, along with We the North as his captain. Headcase on a kind of a short leash, trying to put up a winning season here. He's got Ethan right wing C at 500K. It's always a solid, cheap utility pickup. Escape my schlong. One-way draft contact at 1.5. Ya boy JP at 3.5. Lefty KB right wing at 2.5. Reaps at 4.5 that they stole from Toronto. Reppin' the 6 C right wing at 4.5. Bomberman C right wing at 0.5. And Hella's Elite goalie at 3.5. So it looks like Hella's probably going to be playing like all 8 in net unless Escape My Schlong plays some in there. And I think they have a decent offense. Comments?
Yeah, I mean, Hells did well at Chicago for what he had to deal with. Like you said, head case on a short lease. I think this is probably one of the better teams I've seen him put together in the past couple seasons. It's just, it's going to be a matter of how they gel again. Ethan is a great gel guy. Play with him a lot. He'll do basically whatever is asked of him. Reeps is depends on the day of the week kind of guy. If he's on, he's good. If he's not, he's not. So it's just going to be a matter of them putting together a solid lineup that's going to keep producing night in and night out.
Yeah,
for sure. Shane?
JP is a great lefty. From what I see on the roster, they don't have a main right D. That's for sure going to hurt them. Defensively, they're going to get scored on often. Reeps is a monster. Reppin is pretty decent too. Ethan, he's a bit underrated. I think the guy is going to put up some solid points, especially for 500. But apart from that, I expect the team to struggle.
Okay, let's go ahead and move on and finish out with St. Louis. Execution is back. What do you guys think about St. Louis? I'll let Cross go over this roster.
I mean, I think talent-wise in this division, they're right up there with Winnipeg, if not a little bit better. X and Jan running up at the front line, you're not going to get a whole lot better from a talent perspective of management. Kyle's underrated, especially at his price. Burns is very good. He did really well in Philly last year. Sales is like a mini Jan, which is kind of amusing and also difficult to understand if you're trying to be in a chat with them. You got goalies, you got offense, you got defense. I mean, they got a whole team.
Yeah, and the surprising fact is that most of them went for cheap too. They have a lot of good cheap players.
Yeah, the fact that they have all these guys, they have 13 guys, and they're still over $2.5 million left in cap, so they could go out and add somebody else if they need to in a trade.
I know me and EXE were talking yesterday, and he's really excited about getting Dirty Glove for only $500K. He's also really excited for Method Man. He tried re-signing him before the season to pay him $2.5 million. Ended up going to bidding, not getting the trade through, and ended up getting $500K in bidding.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of these guys are steals. Most of this roster should not be as low as they are.
Kyle J is super cheap re-sign.
Even their goalie tandem, they have Flight Airline, who's a monster at goalie, and Punisher. Those two for 3.5, very good for goalies.
For sure. I know last time I was an owner, Sales and Yan were together in Buffalo along with EXE, and they had one heck of an offense on that team, and their only problem was their defense. So we'll see if their defense between Kyle and Executioner and Greeno there can stick it out this year.
But they also, Sales and Yan also played last year, and I think Burns might have been on. They were both on. I think Yan and Sales were on Philly, and I think I'm not too sure.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's
I don't think it was the whole season, but definitely for at least part of the season.
For the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us, Cross. Do you have any predictions, or gonna leave those to me and Shane here?
I mean, I can tell you right now. There's no way Winnipeg and St. Louis don't come out 1-2 in this division unless there's some major shakeups.
I think we can all agree on that.
I think this division is going to be a lot of season 14 where you may get that third guy sneaking in at 500 or just under, unless somebody does something else.
Same division.
Yeah, same division, different names, different organizations, same results.
Yeah.
Shane, you agree with that outcome?
Yeah. I'd have to go with Winnipeg first, St. Louis second, and then if I had to choose, man. Maybe Minnesota, if I had to choose.
I think Minnesota can maybe make some moves, but I think that's probably what I'm going to go with too. Headcase has to prove he has to make playoffs this season. He's going to
Well,
be too
Headcase is
determined.
Chicago now.
Yeah,
So
okay,
you gotta
Chicago.
Make sure he's the right team there.
So I think Chicago's going to get third with behind Headcase determination and prove himself this year. So
I'm just going to be different. I'm going to go Colorado as the third team coming out of there.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us, Cross. We're going to move on, talk about some other stuff right now. Got a couple more announcements to go over again, and then we'll move on to the Metropolitan Division for you guys.
Later, guys.
Yep. Have a good night. So let's go ahead and go over this again, guys. Be sure Cosmo was the winner of the highlight of the year last season. Be sure to upload your highlights to the site. You can upload them to YouTube or Twitch or whatever, and then just link them to the site, and you'll be automatically entered to win a prize at the end of the season in the contest. So we'll go ahead and watch Cosmo's highlight again here. And right in the back, tucked it in.
Dirty.
And be sure to go ahead and link your Twitch to the VG site under your gamer profile. That way the league can be notified when you go live through both our Discord and on the site, and it'll show right on there. And our Discord is now linked to the site on the bottom right corner of your web page. Can't really see it, so we'll just move you up here quick. So right on the bottom right corner, you can go ahead and click that red button, and it is our Discord linked to the site directly. You can get the info there, or you can go straight to the Discord app and check out everything there. We have all the channels that you will ever need, and we are always growing, and we will be ecstatic when all of you are there. You can get info on rules, staff, who's who, and all that, and just keep up with the community. So next, we'll go on to the Metropolitan Division here. Shane, what team are we starting out with?
Well, let's start off with mine, get out of the way.
So straight to Washington. So in Washington here, we got Shane and Pope as owner and captain. Pope is a solid goalie. Shane is pretty mediocre in all positions. We got Scred at 6 mil left wing right wing, Scotch center left wing, Jack Beller at 6 mil left D, Hockey Man G right D at 2 mil, Daff at 1 million. Got Snoop 651 left D right D, Umeka Me 6 C left wing re-signed at 1.313, right wing left wing Kingly Me King Lime, however you want to pronounce it, 2.5 mil ELC. And then we got Insane Hellfire, C right wing, re-signed at 2.188. You want to talk about some of your team, then I'll give comments?
Yeah, sure. So I'll start off with the obvious horse in the room. Everyone's probably like, what the fuck? Jack Bauer, 6 million. As I mentioned before, the lefty pool was pretty slim, and I think Jack Bauer, out of the pool for a stay-at-home lefty, will do his job perfectly, and that's what we need with me and Pope helping him. I think it's going to be a good job. Scratch for 6 million. He's a solid scorer, solid scorer. He's more scorer than a passer, which will go in perfect synergy with Insane, who's like one of the best seasons in the game defensively and for some passes. King Line for re-sign for 2.5. He was like top 10 in scoring in AHL, so you can't go wrong with that. I know Mecca personally, he's a good friend. Same thing for Scotch. They're gonna show up when I need them. Snoop is a good backup left D, and Daff is a solid goalie also. And Hockey Man, he's solid right D, and but I think he wants to play G this season. But that's something that we're gonna have to settle.
Yeah, and I'll be the first one to say it. You know, Jack's been a solid left D on bad teams for quite a while now. He is probably better than anyone expects. I'm not gonna agree with 6 million, maybe 4 million, but you know, when you're waiting on a D-man trying to get one, prices go up. Sometimes you gotta overpay. Umeka Me Sick is a solid utility forward. Kingly Me, being an AHL commissioner the past couple seasons, I've had a couple run-ins with his personality. So that's my big concern on this team right now. Insane Hellfire and Scred should help make up that top forward line though, and as long as Daft's personality stays in check, he should be solid all around forward and goalie as well.
Well, me and Dap are on a good terms, so that won't be a problem.
So
I just won't give him a plug.
Yep. So we will go on ahead to, we got Carolina next. In Carolina here, we got hat trick legend returning with captain You Want to Be Me Water Wheels. Got Good Karma 82, who used to go by XOX Victorious and was my captain when I first entered the AHL in season 9. I'm kind of curious. I haven't spoke to him in a couple of years. Kind of curious if he is playing. He hasn't been active on the site, so we'll see if he's active or not. Got Stay at Home D to partner with You Want to Be Me again at 9.5 mil. Brandon Sniper 87.5, Mr. LOO Chico 0.5. It was another personality, I believe. You got Double Bra at 2.25, Johnny 45, re-signed at 1.876, G Right D, Burst Night Owl at 3.75 at center, and Oilfield Trash at goalie at 0.625. What are your comments on this team?
This team will be very good because my first observation is that hat trick, about 1/3 of the team he plays with regularly, so there's already good chemistry between him, Burst Night, You Want to Be Me. There's a lot of chemistry. Stay at Home, he sniped me at the end for 9.5. He's going to be a solid defense. He's going to be playing 8 out of 8 games if they need him. He plays lefty and right D, so that's definitely a good pickup. They got Double Bra for 2.25 from Vibes because Vibes didn't have enough free cents, but Double Bra is solid center. Brendan Stamper is an underestimated left wing too. So on paper, they have a decent lineup. It's just maybe I'm a bit scared maybe from the right D. They have a couple of secondary right Ds, but they're mainly forwards. But we'll see how that works out.
Okay, from Carolina, we'll move on to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is headed by PNC yet again, right?
Yeah.
You got Volted Fusion at captain, Goober Dude at 0.5 mil. You got Puck U at 7 mil right D, Saka Playa at lefty center. I know he wants to play more center, but we'll see where he ends up. 9.5 mil. Papa Demu, lefty left wing 0.5. Mud Flaps at 0.5 is usually pretty solid. VG all-time leading goal scorer, I believe. Brandon Rich 44, left wing right wing at 0.5. Sticky Fingers re-signed at left wing left D at 0.625. Tyler is God, ELC at 2.5, and Isles at 1.5. Pretty low on cap with a couple high-paid players. What's your opinion here?
It's a very good team. PNC did a very good job, especially defensively. Well, like you said, maybe we'll see if Saka plays center or lefty, but on paper, their defense is solid. Puck Q for 7 is a steal. Usually he's always high, but Detroit was hogging him this whole time, I believe. But Puck Q and Saka, if they put them together, is going to be very, very good games. Both of them are kind of offensive also. Voltage as a captain is a very good pick. Voltage is a very good left wing also if you pair him with the right center and the proper right wing. Isles, I think they had him last season, if I believe. He's also a solid center. And Sticky Fingers, I see his name popping around. Brendan Rich, that was a beautiful bid. PNC, probably the best of the draft. And Papa Madu, he's a very good lefty also for 0.500. Now that I look at that, I should have went for him also, but it's too late. But
yeah, I know PNC was really excited for locking Papa Demu in at 0.5.
But very, very, very good team. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
Go on to a team that a lot of people had questions about in bidding is Philadelphia, ran by Kid Money. It's got J. Scott as his captain and brought back Reaper at 2.69. So there's a forward line that they have right there. They end up getting White for $9 million. So I'm kind of curious to see how he clashes with everyone else. A few personalities between him and Reaper there. You got Heather LB 123, lefty right deep 1.5. Cornect at 1.5, left wing. So just some more forwards. You know, Spud's all right. I don't know how he's going to transition to the NHL. They got True 91 and Vladdy at G for both 0.5, and Panisher, who I've also never heard of, at right DG for 0.5. And they do have $7 million left in cap though. So I think they're a team that is going to put up a lot of points. Question is, are they going to keep any out?
Well, from what I see on this team is that, you know, if I had to build the first line, there's a lot of good possibility. That's if Roy decides to show up. 9 mil for Roy, is a very good price if he shows up at least 4 games. Will he show up 4 games? We'll see. If you put J. Scott, Roy, and Reaper as a first line, that could be very dangerous. Defensively, I think they're lacking a lot. Like, I don't see any names that could help them defensively, unless Roy decides to play lefty. But I don't know. They shouldn't have got Roy right away at 9 mil. That just put an anchor in their shoes. But it was definitely a good re-sign for Reaper. Reaper put up solid points in his rookie year last season. Props to him. Lady
Reaper and Kid have chemistry off the charts. I can vouch for that.
Yeah, believe Lady for goalie for 500 is very good, very underestimated, very good goalie. Corneg, he's a very good left wing also. But apart from that, about it. 7 mil, make some moves.
Yeah, that's about it. They gotta get some D back there, I think. Figure out their forwards. They got a lot of forwards, so figure out who's gonna play, who's gonna stick around, and move who isn't for some defense. So on to the New York Rangers from Philadelphia is another team that had kind of just a weird bidding process. Jason 23 and Android K at 94 after 2 very successful AHL seasons moving up to the NHL. They got the one and only one shot at 7.5 mil, C right wing. I'm a doer, left wing, lefty at 4 million. Devin Daggs in net at 1.5. Trick 21.5. Effin Dig Bigfoot Bobo on an ELC at 2.5 for lefty. Poochtown in the draft, right D, right wing 0.5. Spray and Pray, right wing, right D 0.75. Gaming Hams at 1 mil, also a draft contract. And they also then ELC'd both. They also ELC'd T Saints at 2.75, who's a pretty solid center. And You Can't See Me Kamikaze in net GG for 1.125. So I think they're pretty locked down in net. What do you think about the rest of the team?
Yeah, as you said, in net, they're definitely good. Devin Daggs is a solid goalie. You Can't See Me is another solid goalie, so goalie they're for sure stacked. Jason, I think, had a lot of points last season in the AHL, I believe, also. So it's going to be a big test for him, if I'm correct. I'm not too sure. Shot at center. I know Shot's having a good season in LG. Sometimes he has attitude, but he doesn't take away that the guy's got thumbs and is a very good player. I'm a doer. He's a very good left wing, also for 4 mil. It's a bit expensive, but it's definitely doable. And I think the rest are just T Saints. T Saints is a decent newcomer also, and for an ELC contract for 2.75 is very good. As for the rest, I'm not too sure, but I expect these guys to do better than people think.
Yeah, I think it could definitely be a surprising team. Since we're talking about Jason's stats, season 13 in Providence in 64 games, he put up 2.88 points per game with a plus 59, and then in season 14 he improved on that at 71 games played, 3.38 points per game, and a plus 99.
Yeah.
So
I think they're gonna have a decent team.
Yeah, I think they're definitely gonna surprise a lot of people. We'll go ahead and move on to Columbus here.
Maybe the only thing as I can add as we're changing is get another lefty possibly.
So in Columbus here, we got McCanadians at owner and Bertone at 2909 as his captain. They got Semple at left wing at 5 mil, who is definitely pretty solid. Seed of Tavares, right D, left wing at 3 mil. Tech at right wing at 4 mil. Deaf Man at 1 mil. Champ 514 1.5. Dr. Nasty 415 at 1.5 in net. Rastafarian left DG at 0.5 on a draft. Marks 51 right D, right wing on another draft at 0.5, and JMM 420 at re-signed at 0.625. So I think between Semple, Tech, and maybe Deafman or Bertone, the captain, they should have a pretty decent starting line. My question still is, at 2.5 mil, is Bertone 2909 going to be a good enough center to pair up with Semple and Tech on the wings?
Yeah, I think that's the best point you could bring up, is that as a center and at an NHL level, it's definitely hard. They got great wingers in Tech and Semple. They put up points. They pass well. Even Champ, I think he was a PHL and he was up there in points, I believe. But apart from that, it's very rookie roster, and I don't see a primary lefty except for Canadien, which surprised me a bit. But I think they're gonna have a decent season also.
Yeah, I definitely think they can definitely surprise people. They got capped, maybe get one of those overpaid centers from somewhere and pair up. So we'll just see what they throw together.
They also have 9 mil left in cap.
Yeah.
So
So they can take one of those overpaid centers and kind of overpay someone and just figure something out. Maybe someone will come up for them to ELC. We will just have to wait and see what happens. So from here we can move on to the New York Islanders, who I believe is Minor Threat and Swift D52 coming back to the league. They got a trail to pair up with Swift on defense. Deleuze, Logicool, who's also a solid D-man at 4.5. Deleuze is at 2 mil. Bure right wing C at 2 mil. Zim D-man, goalie right D. Undead Gamertag, goalie. Newsy, goalie. Barry Sniping, goalie. Scoop, center right D. I don't know what they're going to do. Barry's stuck in net, trying to do that GG trick, as we explained on the position lock earlier, as Cross explained, it will not work anymore. So the big question is, what are they going to do this season with all those goalies?
I don't know, man. I feel bad for Minor. He took over a struggling New Jersey, and it looks like he's going to be doing a struggling New Islanders right now. Why would you get four goalies? I understand that you knew Barry didn't want a G, but why get 3 others still? You know, good D-man would have been more than enough. Maybe a little backup, but 4 goalies, 1 center, no, like 1 right wing, 1 left wing, like. Low G Call, I don't know how to say his name. He barely plays. The guy HO is a solid right D. Like that's a 7 mil. He's gonna be able to play 8 games. I don't know. Like this roster is like, do you even know if all your single position guys can play 8 out of 8? That's gonna be a problem for you in the long run.
Yeah, so they'll have to figure it out for them and see what they can throw together. They're gonna have to make some moves. They got 4.25 in cap, so they certainly can.
They definitely need to make some.
I need to find someone that needs a goalie.
Yeah.
On from the Islanders, we're gonna finish it out with New Jersey here. Got Knights returning as owner, moving over to New Jersey. New captain Kyle 03 Des, 4 mil left wing G. They got New York Sports center left wing 1.5, CW BY FN 94 right D lefty 0.5, NJ Devils 30 left wing 1.5, hold CG. They got the one and only Schwartz 74, aka Caesar 15 on G right wing, 2.25. Microwave King, Dirty Joe at goalie lefty. Miguel Zetterberg's pretty solid C right wing, 1.75, and TNT is just a great utility to have at 0.875. You have any more opinions on it?
I think this is another like what the fuck type of team. That's the expression. Knights is a good left D. NJ Devils is a very good left wing. Microwave King is a good upcoming right D. Schwartz has always been there in goalie. I don't know why you get 3 goalies to start off with, unless one of them is actually not a goalie. Someone can maybe let me know about that. But apart from that, on paper, I don't see them going up there. But you can always be surprised. But
yeah, Schwartz and Holtzy are both pretty good forwards too. So
yeah, and they still have 11 million left. So I think that's another team that should go and find a good trade that could probably benefit them. Maybe like a big forward, like big name.
Yep. So we'll kind of see what happens there. New Jersey, you want to go ahead and give your predictions on the division?
Pardon me? What'd you say? Sorry, I wasn't listening. I was drinking.
You want to go ahead and give your predictions on the division?
Yeah, sure. So for my prediction, I would say I would put Carolina in first, Pittsburgh in second, and Washington in third.
I'm probably about the same as you two there. I think Washington might take second over Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's got some stuff to figure out. Other than that, yeah, I think Carolina's going to kind of run away with the division.
Yeah. Oh well.
So we'll go ahead and watch this. We'll go ahead and announce the VG MLB here. They're going 8 seasons strong now. Commissioners are Rich 2K8 and let's see who the other one is here. Yep, so Rich2K8 is the commissioner this year, and You Want to Be Me, Prodigy, and PNC Park are all staff. Everything's done on Discord, but you can find the rules and other stuff here. Official VGMLB rulebook, offseason contracts 101, team list. Check it out, fill it up. They will be playing on MLB 17, as MLB 18 does not have online franchises. But there will be a roster reset with the newest rosters here for this next upcoming season. So other than that, give me 1 second while I get our other guest in here. And then we will talk about the Atlantic Division.
Hello?
Hey, welcome to the chat. Clutch, can you hear us?
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Hey, welcome. We're just watching this highlight again with Cosmo. Remember, guys, be sure to upload your highlights to the site, and you will be automatically entered for a chance to win a prize at the end of this upcoming season.
Oh, that's dirty.
So, here, welcome, Clutch. Any shout-outs to give before we get started here?
If I don't shout out my captain, he's probably gonna give me some shit. So, Blues, glad you are back with me again this season.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start off with Detroit here. Detroit is always solid as can be, headed by Greek Elite and Lindy as per usual. They got Ash at right DC, .500, VW Hippie Crow, 1 mil, right D, right wing. Team Run 420, left D, right D at .5. NHL Rick, goalie left wing at 1.5. 2 Slick at .5, right wing C. Mikey T's at C, right D, 1.5. And they got Vape Pucci coming back off his 2-year right DC. Fu Manchizi coming off his 2-year left DC at 4 mil. And Ty Dan Killer again off on a 2-year at C right D. Clutch, you got any opinions on these guys?
Well, Detroit's Detroit. I mean, they've won the Cup 2 years in a row for a reason. They've got a ton of offense. They're very solid on the back end too. My only question is Mike Tees isn't going to be in net this season. So I mean, did they replace that? I mean, I don't know, but yeah, Detroit's going to be up there with the top of the league again this season. I mean, that's nothing new.
Shane, any input?
About Detroit?
Yeah.
Yeah, they look solid. Would I say as good as last season? No, but I mean, Greek Elite, they're an offensive duo. Tight end, who's going to lead them as a center. You're going to kill it. Fu Manchizi, one of the best lefties in the game. Always good to keep also. Babe Trucy, very underrated right D. He plays the game a lot and he knows where to be. Mike Teasy, it hurts. I think he plays goalie usually, so for him as a C right D is unexpected. But they probably something in NHL rig that we haven't. They're not that dumb. Team Rum going from something like 7.5 mil to 0.500. Solid pickup for lefty. You're going to see Detroit up there again.
Yeah, my big thing is I think they're going to need to find a second goalie just in case something ever happens in NHL Rick.
Yeah.
Man, starting 8 games a week for every week is get pretty tough sometimes.
And if you also look at how much salary they have left, it's not 7 mil left for Detroit.
Yeah. Prodigy is saying straight up in the chat right now that NHL Rick's availability is sketch, so they're going to really have to figure something out with that.
Well, that's something that they might have to do a preseason trade, which I'm not even worried they'll do.
Okay, so now we will move on to Toronto here. Headed by Rich 2K and Vega Ridge again. Vega Ridge is going to be playing full left D this season. He will not be playing center. Vish is going to come to them and play center, I guess. I don't even see him on here, so I don't know what happens, but that's what Rich tells me. They got Bubba 67, right wing, right D. Jay Barnett at right D. Illuminati, right D, right wing. Ali, center, left D. Dave Z3K, left wing, left D. McDizzle, G, right D. Deadly Nasty, G, right wing at 0.5. And Sabres 1414, right D, right wing at $6 million, coming off a 2-year contract. Got any opinions on this?
You can go ahead, Shane. I'll let you go first.
Yeah, from what I see, I think Rich improved from last season. He has a solid stack on paper. What you said for Vish, he was a draft 2-way contract, so you'll see him on the AHL. They got Ali for 6 mil. Ali, you know, he might say he'll play 2 games, he'll play 4 games, but he'll probably play 6 games. So it's a solid pickup for 6 mil. Sabres 14-14. He's another solid right D. 6 mil is a lot, but definitely worth it for his skills. Bubba, decent right wing. Jay Barnett, very good right D. And just the Vega and Rich combination up front is going to do it properly. Oh, and Dave, did they resign him? Didn't they have him last season? I'm not too sure.
It was re-signed at .875.
Yeah, so he's another solid player. So I think they're going to have a better season than last season.
Yep, so we got Vicious stats up here quick too. In his 12 games last season before he boosted, he has 3.83 points per game and plus 44 in only 12 games in the PHL. So we'll see how he transitions to the NHL level, switching those positions with Vega, throwing Vega back on D, and see what happens. Clutch, you got any opinions on this?
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, their roster is heavily defensively loaded. I mean, the question really to me is how much is Rich going to play this season? I know last season he didn't play a whole lot. I mean, is Rich going to be able to commit to the summer season this season? If he is, then that team is stacked up front and in the back end. So, I mean, they're going to have another good season. They'll be another one of the teams at the top, I'm sure, especially in the East.
Let's move on to the Panthers here. Panthers got Prodigy to Legend and M Club as owner and captain. Right wing G, they got Untouchable, Choban, Lacat at left wing, right wing, Memlock, G lefty 1.5, I Benid, right D G 0.5, Gergs, G right wing at 2 million, Polska Boss 780, right wing, right D 0.5, Matt Sav, left wing, right wing 0.5 draft, Fifth Element, goalie 0.5 from the draft. Skillsy, left wing, right wing at 5 mil. WHL Hockey at 2.5, and Air Blaster coming back on at 4.375. I can vouch for Gergs and Air Blaster's ability on my own. Air Blaster is a great center, helped lead me to the Western Conference Finals season 12. Gergs is a better D-man than I think I've seen him play forward or G, but looks like he's gonna go with the other ones this year. That's what he enjoys, and for 2 million, I think that's great any position he plays. Any more opinions on these guys?
Yeah,
I mean,
no, go ahead.
no, outside of Air Blaster and Jers, I mean, yeah, I know M Club is solid and Prodigy is solid himself. That gives you obviously at least 4 that you can count on for most nights. Really, it's just going to be a matter of what's their depth. I mean, there's not a whole lot of names on that roster that many people know. So.
Well, that's where I would disagree with you. I think they have plenty of depth. Untouchable, he's a stellar right wing. For 1 million, that's a solid pickup. Matt Saab, you guys have been playing for a long time. He's a solid right wing also for 0.500. Contract's very good. Skillsy, great left wing. Polska Boss, I think he plays a lot of LG, and I think he's also an Xbox. Guy is solid also for 500. Problem is that are they going to show up? That's another question.
Well, yeah, that was kind of what I was getting at.
So
Not that they don't have the talent. It's just a matter of, I mean, how much are you going to be able to get them on the ice?
Yeah, I think about anything here is kind of going to be their defense. I mean, we know they'll put up numbers. They got a couple good goalies that are mixed in there. What are they going to do on defense, though? That's my big question here.
Well, they have the captain that's a right D, right? So
Club, yeah, he's a D-man.
Yeah, so that's going to be a good start for them right away. But I think it's one of the teams that might surprise people.
Yeah, I could say that. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Let's move on
They
to
might.
Ottawa before we do anything. We got a shout out from Kyle J53 to Castro G Star. If any of you don't know who Kyle J is, he is our resident staff advisor on the VG site. Just an OG around, and shouting out to Castro for finally ending up on a good team for the first time in forever.
Ooh, good times.
So we
Good
got the
times.
Waffle Master, surprising everyone in bidding. He's Captain Big Tizzle, who's been around for a long time, made his way back to the NHL. Castro G Stars at 4.5 mil, left wing C in that Euro connection. You got Mabster, left wing C at 3 mil. Hardick, two-time Norris winner, one of the best D-men in the game, 8.5 mil right D. Got Chi-Town, right D, right wing, pretty good center as well. Dynasty, right D, right wing, 1.5. Kinpin, right wing, left wing at 1. Braz at 0.5 in net. And Defmans X at 1.5. So Braz is a pretty solid steal, 1.5 Jeff Mintz is great at 1.5. And you got Chi-Town Hardick to fill in those D spots. Chi-Town can play some center. All around, I think they're a pretty well-rounded team.
Completely agree with you on that copy. Yeah, I mean, that team quietly during bidding put together a very solid team, both up front and on the back end. The only thing, I mean, who are they going to have as a starting netminder? I mean, is that really going to be the question, though?
Braz
they're going to be able to put up.
It's going to be Braz, yeah, for sure.
Is it? Okay. I can't see the screen, so. But up front, they can obviously put up 4 or 5 goals a game, and then, of course, they got the reigning Norris Trophy winner. They'll be able to frustrate teams a lot, definitely. So
my biggest issue is they don't have a backup goalie in case Brass can't make it. The management, they don't play any games. They don't play the game often, and they're lacking a center. Chi-Town can play center, but they don't have a really main center to start off with. But on paper, they're a very good team. I've heard Mapster not be playing that many games, but that's one thing that we'll see. On paper, they look good, though.
Yo, Shigit, Yucko School of Hockey Greatness calling out Ottawa got good once Shane left.
Yeah, fuck you, Yucko.
So from Ottawa, we will move on to cross the U.S. border to ye old Boston, headed by Oriole Rules and C. Fairman as his captain. They got the Wall, right wing, right D, 0.5. Moneyman, left wing, left E at 0.5. Sid05 at left wing C at 2.5. West Side Hockey in net at 2.5. John Bond 5'10 on the draft contract at 0.5. Aegis Quad on the draft contract at 1, center left wing. Le Coupidon at left wing, right wing at 1 mil on that draft contract. The ELC to Max, center G at 3.5. They got String King, lefty G 1.5. Jissy 31 on that ELC at 2.5. And some kind of hate 13 CG at 1.75. This is a team with 7.75 left in cap. The question is, who are the big guys here? There's a lot of guys haven't really heard of well. That Max 20 is at 3.5. We'll have to check out his stats here in a second. Sid's always pretty all right. I don't know if he's not a guy you can count on to be your starter and point scorer, though. Westside Hockey and net is like their biggest set piece. The rest is all pretty questionable. So, what, Clutch, got your opinions on this?
No, I was thinking the same thing. I mean, yeah, I know Sid can be solid, but he usually, I mean, he needs supporting pieces. I mean, he's not going to carry your team. Are they going to be able to put up enough offense to even be competing? Really? I mean, that's what I see. But I mean, Jicky, okay, yeah, he can put up a couple of goals, but I mean, between those two, that's really all they have.
Shane
offensively.
Well, I think we're forgetting about Oriole, the owner. Oriole is a solid center. The guy has been playing the game for a long time. The guy is good at passing, has good vision. I think he would be leading the team as a center. And if you put him up with Sid, I think that would be the missing piece that Sid would miss with the Orioles. On the goalie side, West Side Hockey is an absolute monster. So they're gonna have that going for them. The Wall, Max, and Aegis are all underrated players. They're pretty good. String as a lefty also I would say is underrated for 1.5 for lefty. It's a very good pickup. As for the rest, the Cubidon's decent. The GC is decent. I think this is another team that's going to surprise people.
Okay.
They can't. We can't. Every team can't surprise us people.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been seeing it that much. It's this division mostly.
Every team's going to surprise people with Shane. Let's go with Yoko's comments. The team is full of sleepers, or the team is going to flop. One of the two.
That was, yeah. They're either going to be one of the teams that nobody realizes, or they're going to flop. I agree with that.
So we will move on to Tampa Bay here. So at Tampa Bay, we got Red Concept at owner, myself as captain. We got X Stoner Boy at CG, Reps 71 left wing right wing, God is Nowhere at D, West 20 VT right wing C, Carlson VP at G left wing, Francie left wing right D, Crazy Triad left wing right wing ELC at 2.5, Locke at goalie left wing aka Pat Dean, and LeBlanc at left wing left D for 2 mil. You guys got any comments on this team before I dive into it further?
No, my question is, are you playing this season?
Yes, I am.
You've always had success being the manager, so that was my first initial question. No, you got a solid back end. I played behind God, my one season in the AHL. A couple of games had called me up, and God's a solid D man. I mean, we all know what Pat Dean brings. He's solid goalie. Really, I mean, you're going to be playing center, I'm assuming.
Yep. So I'll be playing center. Red will be at left D. God will be playing at both D, Francie at right D, and LeBlanc will be playing around utility as well.
Right.
So me and Next Stoner Boy will switch off at center, Reps on wing, and then Wes and Crazy and Carlson will all take their turns at wing as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's just going to be figuring out your dynamic up front. But I mean, it's not a roster that jumps out at you. But I mean, I've seen most of all of you play, so you're solid and can do what needs to be done. It's just can you guys put it all together?
We'll see. Only time will tell. Shane, any comments?
Yeah, this team is looking really, really good. Pat Dean on the back is always a good choice. Red Concept I've been playing a lot with him recently, and guy's a stud. As a lefty, he's going to be very, very solid. Reps at left wing, solid pick 4.5. Stoner Boy is a bit my guess. Last season, he got ELC at 4 million, was getting tossed around. Will he find chemistry with the wingers? I think so. Francie for 0.625 is a solid pickup. Francie's very good and he can play very good defensively and very good offensively. And Crazy Try is one of those guys who you don't hear about, but he's always up there skill-wise. And God for 1 mil, very good pickup. So I see this team being the top of the division.
Are they going to surprise us, Shane?
I think they're going to surprise us, pal.
Okay, from Tampa Bay, we will move on to the Canadiens de Montreal. Headed by Robo73 and Edge XQ1. Getting his shot at owner here. You got Real Deal, right wing at 4 million. King Forest at 0.5k, 500k there at lefty, right D. Boston Hydro and net 3.5. Ozip G left wing at 500k. Dirt McGirt C right wing at 500. Sweetness Spence right wing left wing at 500k. Bush at 500k. Belly right D left D at 500k. G Gampel right D right wing at 1 mil. And Hockey Fanatic right wing C. This team has a lot of cap left. How do you see them playing out, Clutch?
Well, if Hydro was actually playing every game, I think that they could probably win more games. But from what I have been hearing around the circuit was that he wasn't playing much this summer season. I really don't know. King Forest has been around forever. He should be in a wheelchair, but I don't really know. Like when we were, my captain and I were kind of going over things and bidding and stuff. We both were kind of scratching our heads, trying to figure out what their plan was, what they were doing. So,
Shenene.
Butch for 0.500 is a good bid. Ozip's decent too. They're not going to surprise me. They're going to finish that last,
yeah. Like I said, if Boston was going to be playing a lot more, he would probably be able to steal some games for them. But from what I heard, he was not playing a whole lot. That was why he, wasn't getting the bids that everybody had initially predicted.
Okay, so Shane, are they a team that's going to surprise us?
I said they're not going to surprise me. They're going to finish that last.
Okay, I think they're going to finish last in Division 2 pretty clearly.
What I can say shout out to Zubov, who says Montreal is absolute trash.
Gotcha. So, yeah, I think they'll finish last in the division pretty clearly, but, we'll see what happens. Just leave it at that. Next, we will move on to Buffalo, the other team that surprised everyone in bidding after the last couple seasons, headed by none other than Captain Clutch himself and STL Blues at C. Wright Diaz as captain. And you guys got CB Thomas, 28, right wing, left wing at 2.5 mil. Lee Malvo, right wing, left wing at 500K. Johnny W, 19, lefty C at 500K. Svick at 2.5 mil on that right wing. You got Sudsy locking down center position at 9.5 mil. San Jose 01, goalie right wing at 2 mil. Rub My Duck at C left wing 2 mil. Fries the Ninja at C left wing 2 mil, and Dark Spark goalie C 0.5K, and Fat Man coming back re-sign 0.625, locking down that right D position. So just my quick overview is you guys can put up points, that is for sure. Are you going to be playing lefty yourself this season though? And are you guys going to be able to keep the pucks out of the net with your current defense?
I mean, my plan is to play in the offensive end. We don't have to keep the puck out of the net if we're in the other end.
Fair enough.
I mean, that you play in a division where you play against Detroit, you play against Toronto, you play against those teams. They're heavily offensively, laden. Me and Blue said that we need an offense that's going to be able to combat that. Yes, we may not, him and I together actually is the plan for the D pairing. But we wanted to be able to play in the offensive end this season. And we feel like we went out and we got the offensive talent to do so. So SJ is a solid goalie. I mean, I had him last season. He's been around the league for a while. I mean, when he is on, I believe he's one of the top, 3 or 4 goalies in the league. So...
Shane, you got any input on this?
Yeah. They put up a solid team this season. Sudsy at 9.5, they would say is a lot, but I've been playing with Sudsy on my SP team. Guy is a monster. He has very good hands. I would say sometimes he passes too much. He doesn't shoot. Rub My Duck, solid pickup for 2 mil. S15, solid pickup for 2.5. Lee Marvel, good pickup for as a right wing for 500. I don't know why you always kept Fat Man Little Coat, though. But
Dave, honestly, he's a solid player. He never complains. He's always available. I want to put a winning team in front of him for once.
I think just your biggest issue is going to be left wing. Like you
know what? That's kind of what we had talked about. We're trying to figure out who's going to play the left side, but I think between Duck and both Fries, they both can play center. So, or they both can play left wing.
Clutch,
so
do you have so do you have a prediction for the top 3 in the division before we let you go here?
Oh God, Detroit, Toronto. I'm not going to be a homer, so I'm going to say Florida.
Okay. Shane, what about you here?
I would have to go Detroit, Tampa, and Toronto. But I will say this, though. In the wild card, it would be Florida and Buffalo.
Okay. I think I'm going to surprise everyone here. I'm going to say Florida, Tampa, Toronto. Detroit's going to fall down this year.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I don't know what you've been drinking today.
I don't really see how that... The roster that they have, I just don't see that happening. But, hey, anything is possible, I suppose.
Greek's pretty busy with NBA, so we'll see what happens.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for dropping by. So we'll go ahead before we get our next guest in here. Shane, you can take a break for a little while if you want, or you can stick around. That's your choice, and then we'll bring you back for our awards.
No, I'll take a break.
Okay, so I'll let you know when we're ready for you. I'll do these announcements and get our next guest in here. We'll talk some about the AHL. So let's go ahead and look over this highlight yet again. Remember, guys, Cosmo 483264 here. He had the highlight of the year last season. Load up your highlights straight to the website. You can just upload them via YouTube or Twitch and link them over, and you'll be automatically entered in a contest to win a prize at the end of the season. Castro is usually pretty good about getting some pretty lit prizes, so make sure to check that out. Get your clips up. Link your Twitches over onto the site so that everyone knows when you are going live. We'll load up on our Discord as well. Be sure to join the league's Discord. It is now embedded into the chat as he slides it in and tucks it backhand here.
Dirty.
Being dirty as can be. Don't forget, if you are pumped about MLB coming out again, we have the VGMLB League entering season 9, I believe, and they are resetting the rosters with new updated rosters for this season. Unfortunately, MLB 17 will be the only game that still has online franchise here, but as MLB 18 does not support it currently. But be sure to go check that out on the forums here. We got the VG MLB rule books. You can message Rich2K8, who is the commissioner. Otherwise, Prodigy to Legend, PNC Park, and You Want to Be Me are all staff in the league as well. So if you are interested, be sure to go check out the rule book. Message one of them if you have any questions, and try to drop by one of those teams for roster resets and a brand new fresh start. So let's go ahead and get Dougie Hazard in here. Dougie, go ahead and hop on. As Dougie joins up over here, we'll go ahead and get some AHL info up for you guys. Let us check out the recent transactions around the league. I don't remember which one it is. It's been too long. Recent transactions here. We can check out who is in bidding right now. Welcome to the stream, Dougie Hazard. Let's talk a little bit about yourself, your team. Who is your owner? What team are you running this season? Let's hear it.
Yo, I'm running the Baby Sharks this year, San Jose.
For none other than the owner, R.W. Spencer, correct?
Yeah.
Can we talk about some of your experience running teams before?
I don't know, I ran Windsor last year in the PHL.
How'd that go for you?
Pretty good season. Got knocked out by Oriole Rules and the Peaks in the first round, but they're all very close games.
For sure. So let's go ahead and look at some of the top bids here in the AHL. We got Snipe 420 left wing going for $6 million.
Yeah, let's see his stats here.
Got any opinions on any of these top guys?
Yeah, he put for 1.8 points a game last season. I don't know if he's worth the $6 million, but let's look at the other guys here. You got Snipe Shot. I heard his availability be pretty iffy.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how those play out. Looks like a lot of the same teams bidding on a lot of these guys, but backing out when they get too expensive. You got FUQT going for $4 million right now. It's a name I recognize. Crazy Clowns, pretty solid all around guy, going for $4 million. Stavio, right wing, right D, going for $3 million. Intro 9999 at $3 million. A few teams bidding on him. Eggman's a solid D man, got that 2.75. McKinnis is very solid at 2.75 as well. Ayachoke uses solid G, but has a little bit limited availability at 2.5. You know much about this Prox LOL guy or any of the other big names going?
Prox, I think he was PHL last year. Right, yeah, he was on QC Click's team. They had a good run. Yeah, he'd be worth it in the long run. I remember playing against him.
782 save percentage with a 2.53 GAA this year. 14 wins, 6 losses, 1 overtime loss.
That'd be a good pickup. Be a good pickup for sure, especially if you were expecting to get a lot of shots on that.
Yeah, any, too many of these other big names point out to you here?
few QT, solid. Mastodon, played with Halifax last year in the P. He was pretty solid. Stavio ran Niagara. They won it all. He was the manager, so he's kind of got the attitude going there for him, though.
We get those attitudes. We got scroll down. They censored me. Our former VGHL DC head and good team first guy going for 1.5 right now. Right D, left wing. Ty Bod's always a pretty solid goalie at 1.25, especially when he's on his game. Braves fans pretty solid, 1.25. Do we got any big, good captains that you think are going to put together a really good team in predictions here?
Yeah, CQ Click. He'd put a good team together. I forget what team he was running.
What team's he running here?
The Thunderbirds. Colia 19. He's good with putting groups together. Put what was it? Ottawa 67 last year.
Nick Chiola 19 here. Ronnie Hextall. We'll see how Chiola does. He's got 6 bids right now. I can't scroll down and show you the rest of his bids, but see how it goes. What other good captains we got going on?
Let me see here. I was looking through earlier. I'm not going to talk myself up, but
Why
well, I don't know. On my team here, I got TikTok as my assistant. We'd be running the team. Well, he'd be my defense partner. We put up quite a few points last year in the PHL. We got Neposh Patrick here at Bridgeport. He'd be a solid player. Dopey Stevens also solid, but I'm looking at his bidding strategies here. It doesn't look like it's going to turn out for him too
I'll
well.
go ahead and talk about some of my AHL team here. We got Execution 80 and Dr. Wally, both coming down from the NHL from last year. They wanted to get in management. Both pretty solid players, both great guys. We got a couple two-way draft contracts in MTL Core and Alexander lining up that front line. So we'll see what they throw together. What other teams we got? We got the Marlies have a couple two-way draft contracts there, I believe. They got Vish, who's down there for now. We'll see if he stays down there. LaFleur is down there with HU Cable Guy and Gator Dev, who were both in the AHL last season. You got any more input on this?
I'd also look out for Toronto. Probably or the Marlies beat San Antonio with the Ease and Cypher. And they got Kev F there too. Yeah, Niagara last year, I believe.
For sure.
Solid player.
We'll probably, I think that's about it, all we can do for AHL right now, just until more things play out. We'll keep watching these recent transactions as we go on with the podcast here and see if anyone climbs up above that 6 mil spot. And we'll catch you next time for some AHL predictions, hopefully. Sound good, Dougie?
Sounds good, bro. I just want to give a shout out to Doug, man. Good fucking Doug. All right, boys.
Have a good night. Well, we'll get Shane back on here to do some award predictions. Shane, go ahead and join the call back.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bon.
So, go ahead and do some more our award and cup predictions here.
Okay. So my cup prediction would have to be Vancouver.
Vancouver. Okay, let's go check out the roster again. Go over it. Let me just get there quick. So Vancouver is your cup prediction and the Western team in the cup for you. Headed by Snake Plissken and Rise, as we went over earlier. They got their forward line looks like Talent Check, Rise of Ninja, and who else was it here? Dom Squad at left wing. You want to go into the roster more and why you think they're a cup winner?
Simple. It's Snake as a defenseman, Rise and Dom Squad as a forward, Talent as a C, and then their depth is very good also. Their goalie tandem is decent also. Run as a backup right D also is good. Just on paper, they're just good. And Snake has always been known to run a good team, and I'm not going to start taking that away from him this year. I think this is his year again.
So who from the East do you think is going to make it to the cup?
From the East, the East is the Metro and the Atlantic, right?
Yep. Now let's actually check out Vancouver's AHL quick. They also got RV Clutch on a two-way draft contract, who could come up left wing C.
For who?
For Vancouver quick. He had, in his 18 games in the PHL, he had 4.06 points per game and a plus 22 last season, so he could definitely make a huge impact as well.
Yeah, RV's a beast. I know I messaged him the day of the draft. I said, "Are you playing?" He said, "Yes, he is." And then as the draft was going on, he appeared in the Twitch board, and everyone's worse. That's when I think I saw Vancouver going, "Okay, yeah, I want that first trade," because I was gonna draft the Clutch. Everyone wanted Clutch, right? So he's gonna be a big influence also. So that's just another reason why.
So who was your Eastern team then?
My Eastern team. I have to go with Detroit. I don't have a choice. I underestimated them last season as I was doing my write-ups or when I was talking with Fox, and they proved why Detroit is Detroit, and I'm not going to start taking that away from them.
Detroit is Detroit. I think Greek is just going to be so busy this season, though. I was actually surprised he stayed as owner and didn't give it up to Lindy, just with how busy I think he's going to be with other stuff right now in his life. Vape is amazing at right D. You know, Too Slick has that personality, but he's still just a good forward. Got to give him that. Other than that, their roster just, some of the people on the roster just don't impress me too much. But Greek has a way of getting people to play.
What's your prediction?
In the West, I am probably, I gotta say, Winnipeg. It's between them and Vancouver. I think Ross is time to shine. He's got a solid roster. Gustav and Easton's, Matt Cano, those three are gonna put up a great top line, I think. Scals and Ross themselves are gonna really hold down that defense. I think when it matters, they'll be the ones to put up the big fight and break out. For the East, I want to say myself as the only reason I'm back in management is to come and win a cup, but I just don't think I can go ahead and say that right now. We got to prove ourselves first. I am going to go ahead and say Toronto with... Let's go ahead and look at Toronto's roster quick. In the AHL, they got Vish coming up to play center. LaFleur, right D, lefty, that can come up and play for them. So you'll see Vish there on that two-way draft contract. Vega's going to go left D full-time. Rich at right wing there. So between Vega and Sabres locking down that D, they got Deadly Nasty and McDizzle on goalie, so they're just not going to let in goals. Ali is a great defensive-minded forward. So with Ali and Vish up front, with Bubba or Rich or whoever's playing right wing, I think they'll just be all around pretty solid. Tough to beat.
Fair enough.
And I think Toronto probably takes it all.
Yeah, you've been drinking something.
As Ovo Yuk said, Big D.
Do you have any predictions for, let's say, for the awards?
For the awards, for the Vizina, I think Pat Dean's going to take it. I'm going to try to make sure of that. You go ahead and list yours here some.
Okay, so me for the Vizina, I would go for Yoshi.
Yoshi for the Vizina. So we got Pat Dean and Yoshi. Who do you think is going to win that Ted Lindsay?
Which one is the 10 Lindsay again?
Ted Lindsay is the player of the year as voted on by the players or the community or whatever.
I have one player I think that's gonna be multiple of my awards, and I guess I'll give him that too. I would say it's gonna be Dumb Squad.
Dumb Squad.
Yeah, and I give the Maurice to Dumb Squad, the Art Ross to Dumb Squad, and for the defense of the years, if Sokka decides to play D, I'll give it to him. If not, don't know about the defense. I didn't look into that really.
For the Norris winner,
The Norris. What's your Ross in your?
I think Vega's gonna take care of that Norris with him moving back to D. I think he's just very skilled back there. As for forwards, it's a tough one to tell. I think Ryza Ninja might have a chance at the heart. Yuck's calling Matt Cano with the heart. We'll just kind of see what happens.
Yeah, and for the Norris, I'd probably, I guess, have to go between Full Throttle and Human.
So what team was Full Throttle on again?
Calgary.
Calgary. So we got Full Throttle going with Norris from Shane's point of view. Let's check out his stats quick because I don't know much about him. Full Throttle is plus 93 last season in 73 games with a .92. Absolutely solid stats. Do we have anything else to talk about before I make these last announcements, Shane?
Nope.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and talk again first about VGMLB. Go check out them out on the forum for the rule book. Roster resets this season. Any questions, contact Rich2K, who's the commissioner, Wise Prodigy to Legend, PNC Park, or you want to be me, our staff. Other than that, again, we got this highlight of the year contest going on. Upload your highlights via Twitch or YouTube, link them to the site, and automatically be entered for a chance to win a prize at the end of the season if your highlight is the best. Cosmo won last year. Castro's pretty good at getting some awesome awards going on, so be sure to check that out. Check out the VG Discord to get on there, chat with all of us. Maybe you can be a guest on the next podcast if you get in there, and we'll see what happens.
Oh, that's
Get ready for the
dirty.
season to start, and good luck to everybody, and we'll catch you next time.